From Richarlison scoring a worldie to the most disrespectful penalty scored in a final, these are the 25 most epic goals in World Cup history. And first,
genius! Absolute genius! Would you believe it?
in Portugal's opening game of the 2018 World Cup, they were down 3-2 to Spain in the 88th minute. With defeat almost guaranteed, Ronaldo stepped up to a free kick and did this.
Ronaldo. And it's a hat-trick for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Doing this while the whole world was waiting to laugh at you, he might just be the GOAT. But as epic as that free kick was, it's nothing compared to a player who literally turned into an airplane. Now imagine you've been waiting 4 years to get revenge on the team that beat you in a World Cup final. That's exactly where Holland were when they faced Spain in the opening game of the 2014 World Cup. But with the game level at 1-1, Daley Blind launched a ball from his own half, and Robin van Persie did this. Damn, who needs Superman when we've literally got the Flying Dutchman? But while that was a stuff of dreams, the goal at number 23 made grown men cry. Brazil had been carrying the ghost of that 7-1 loss for 8 years. And when they faced Serbia in the World Cup in Qatar, they needed some old-school Brazilian magic to shake it off. Vini Jr. picks the ball up on the left, drifts inside, and floats across into the box to set up this.
Forcing Lazovic back and finding Richarlison! Now that!
I can't lie, man. That goal gave me goosebumps. But even this is nothing compared to what a 23-year-old boy did in a World Cup final. It's the 2022 World Cup final. Argentina is 2-0 up with 10 minutes left. Messi's trophy is basically being engraved already. And then France gets a penalty. Mbappe buries it, and it's game on. 97 seconds later, Thuram flicks a ball into the edge of the box and side foot volley in a World Cup final. This kid was made for the biggest stage. And speaking of kids announcing themselves at the World Cup, the player at number 21 made Real Madrid sign a blank check.
My word, this boy's a star!
Nobody outside South America had heard of James Rodriguez before this tournament. He was 22, playing for Monaco, and finding his feet in Europe. But in the round of 16 tie against Uruguay, the ball gets headed out. James has his back to goal, and as soon as he chests it out of the sky, boom.
Alvaro Pereira hit by James! Oh, what a goal! One of the greats! My word, this boy's a star! 4 games!
Yeah, no wonder Real Madrid broke the bank to sign this baller. But even that couldn't break into our top 20, because still to come, a defender scored the 4th best World Cup goal ever, and another German scored a completely pointless goal that somehow became iconic. Before we get to those, however, we have to see a flop who changed his fortunes with one goal. It's France against Argentina in the 2018 round of 16. The game is tied at 2-2 in the 65th minute, and a loose ball spills out of the box and drops to a 22-year-old right back who wasn't even supposed to be playing that day. With the lights at their brightest, he does this. Bro still lives off this goal's tax to this day. But at number 19, another defender hit a ball straight into FIFA's record books. Uruguay hadn't been to a World Cup in 12 years, and in their first game back, they found themselves 1-0 down to Denmark at halftime. They won a corner, but defender Dario Rodriguez had a hunch and stayed outside the box while everyone else went in. Denmark cleared it, a teammate looped it back, and it dropped for him to do this.
Aí autorizado, Recoba, faz o levantamento. Sobra com possibilidade do chute. Aí Rodrigues! Gol!
But shh, quiet down, because at number 18, a grandpa decided to cook on his farewell tour.
One of the great goals.
Giovanni van Bronckhorst was 35 years old, playing his final tournament, and had scored 5 international goals all his life. So when the ball came to him on the left, nobody expected him to do this. Scoring your only World Cup goal in this manner? Even Hollywood would reject that script for being too perfect. But as dramatic as that was, the player at number 17 scored one of the most iconic goals in German football history. In their opening match of the 2006 World Cup, Germany were already winning 4-2 in the final minutes.
He might do. Save first time, not the second.
But with everyone already in party mode, Torsten Frings decided to pop the champagne. And speaking of outside the boot disrespect, a Peruvian broke Scottish hearts with a trivela. Scotland rolled into the 1978 World Cup match against Peru, telling everyone they'd win. But by the 76th minute, they were 2-1 down. With time running out, Peru lined up a free kick 25 yards out. But instead of a normal free kick, Cubillas did this.
We shall see. Here he comes, Cubillas drives it in, and it's a goal!
Scoring a trivela in one of the biggest games of your life, no wonder they called him the Peruvian Pele. But the goal at number 15 literally broke the law of physics. Needing to win by a huge margin or go home, Mexico were only able to score 1 after 50 minutes of football.
Oh, that's a clever flick, and that is a smart...
But in the 52nd minute, Luis Chavez decided to take matters into his own hands.
Goal. Chavez!
Hitting the ball that hard and still getting eliminated is wild. But the guy at number 14 committed an all-out assault. Colombia was the tournament's favorite in
They put their foot on the throttle in the second half.
But at number 13, Ronaldinho hit something so confusing. We still don't know if he meant it. It's Brazil versus England in the 2002 quarterfinal. Ronaldinho stands over a free kick 40 yards from goal, and it seems way too far to shoot. Seaman seems relaxed, and Ronaldinho looked up like he was about to cross, only to do this. Humiliating a legend at just 23 was wild, but it's nothing compared to what Messi did to an entire country.
He's provided the touch.
Messi had missed a penalty against Iceland,
And he's missed it.
ghosted against Croatia, and Argentina were 14 minutes from the most humiliating group stage exit of his career. Everything was falling apart until Ever Banega lofted a 40-yard pass over the Nigerian defense.
Brilliant ball from Banniger. Is this the opener? Yes, it is! That's what they came to see. And he's provided the touch.
Thigh, left foot, right foot, goal. This man got fans crying in the stands. I would have cried too, to be honest. But as emotional as that was, another Argentine walked up to every critic on the planet and hit them with receipts. Angel Di Maria, a 30-year-old player who was benched at PSG, written off at Man United, called finish by half the internet. But when he came face-to-face with the French machine, he answered his critics by doing this.
Eva Banega. Di Maria. Oh, what a goal! What a strike! Argentina level! It's Angel Di Maria!
Top bin from 30 yards out. He might have had the best left foot in that 2018 Argentine team. But now that we've made it to our top 10, it's time to take things to a whole new level. I'm talking about an Aussie that broke Dutch hearts and the greatest trivela goal in history. Before we get to those, however, we have to see a goal that lifted an entire continent. In the first World Cup ever held on African soil, the opening match was still tied at 0-0 in front of 84,000 people holding their breath. Deco Modise slides a ball through Sifiwe Shabalala on the left, and the South African wasted no time in doing this.
Taylor, what's he saying? It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
Yeah, you just have to stand up and dance. But at number 9, an Aussie broke Dutch hearts in the most epic of ways. The Dutch had just destroyed Spain 5-1 and looked unstoppable. So when Australia found themselves 2-1 down, Tim Cahill had to show the Dutch who the Aussies really are.
The Netherlands in front, but Australia looking for a quick comeback. They've got it! Tim Cahill! Astonishing!
That celebration still gives me goosebumps to this day. But the guy at number 8 scored the greatest Trivela goal in history. Ricardo Quaresma, a man whose entire career was built on the Trivela, finally got his World Cup moment when he did this.
Quaresma goes again. Brilliant from Ricardo Quaresma on his return for Portugal. Simply sensational, and it might be enough to take them through.
Bro had the Iranian goalkeeper questioning his life choices. They just don't make ballers like this anymore, man. But at number 7, a German scored a goal that has still never been recreated. In the Texas 100-degree heat, Klinsmann gets a pass rolled to his feet with 2 defenders on his back and does this.
His presence, Klinsmann with a turn, scores! What a goal!
To this day, no player has been able to score a goal like this. But even this is nothing compared to what Joe Cole did at number 6. In a match between Sweden and England, the Swedes clear a corner all the way to the edge of the box, and Joe Cole, standing 30 yards from them, decided to do the unthinkable.
Looking for Lampard, breaks here for Joe Cole. Oh, brilliant! Just brilliant!
They asked him after the game why he even attempted it, and his answer was literally, why not? Coldest 3-word answer in football history. And now that we've made it to our top 5, fasten your seatbelts because these next goals are historic. I'm talking about a goal that got Maradona crying, and a goal so legendary that FIFA literally named it the goal of the century. But first, a man who came with no knees to write football's greatest fairy tale.
Ronaldo is R9.
The best football player I have ever seen on the pitch.
He put people to sleep. Lay down, let me go past.
He was one of the absolute greats, even with his injuries.
For me, he was not playing football, he was football.
The 2002 World Cup was Ronaldo's comeback tournament. A man whose kneecap had literally exploded 4 years earlier was having the tournament of his life. But with the semi-final against Turkey level after a full half of football, Rivaldo slides a ball into the box with a defender closing the angle and no room to shoot. But when you come too close to Ronaldo, he usually does this. But at number 4, we have to see the most disrespectful penalty in World Cup history. 7 minutes into the 2006 World Cup final, Materazzi fouls Malouda in the box, and France are awarded a penalty. With a billion people watching and Buffon in goal, Zidane does this. A Panenka in a World Cup final against a world-class goalkeeper. Bro might be the coldest player ever. But at number 3, 3 touches sent Argentina home in the most brutal way possible. 89th minute, it's 1-1 in the quarterfinal between the Netherlands and Argentina. Ortega had just been sent off for headbutting the Dutch keeper, and everyone was settling in for extra time. Then, Frank de Boer, standing in his own half, saw Bergkamp and...
It's another long one to Dennis Bergkamp. It's a wonderful first touch. Can he finish? Oh, yes, he can!
Bergkamp called it the greatest goal of his life, and 27 years later, nobody disagrees. But as impossible as those 3 touches were, the next player hit a ball so good that Maradona himself said it was the best goal he'd ever seen live. extra time in the round of 16. The game between Argentina and Mexico is tied at 1-1. The ball gets switched to the other side of the pitch, and Maxi Rodriguez controls it to do this.
Driven all the way to the back edge of the penalty area to Rodriguez on the left foot. What a goal! What a strike! If ever there was a score that deserved to win a
Top corner, 25 yards, weaker foot, one touch, in extra time. No wonder Maradona said it was the best goal he'd ever seen live. But at number 1, we go back to 1986 for the goal that healed a country that had just lost a war. It's the 1986 quarterfinal of the World Cup, Argentina versus England. 4 years earlier, these two countries had literally been shooting at each other, and now they were meeting on a football pitch for the first time since. 6 minutes before this goal, Maradona had scored the hand of God.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Maradona. They're appealing for offside.
But just when the English boys thought their day couldn't get any worse, Maradona did this. Damn, he ran through the entire team like training cones. FIFA named it the goal of the century in 2002, and honestly, there is no argument.
But as crazy as this moment was, it is nothing compared to a Milan missing a sitter. What? Player punching glass. These are the 30 missed goals that even your grandma would score. And first, the time Messi missed one of the easiest chances in his career.
Can he return from Messi? Messi! Messi! No! He lost control of it. And Ederson able to grab it.
But if Messi can miss from 2 yards out, you better believe Ronaldo can do the same thing.
Es Cristiano!
After slicing through the Celta Vigo defense with ease, a nice 1-2 provided Ronaldo with a simple chance to score. But instead of passing the ball into the corner, Ronaldo shockingly missed.
Modric, el Madrid quiere el cuarto. Allá va Cristiano, se le mueve por la banda. Toni Kroos, dos esperan. La tiene Cristiano. Es Cristiano. Oh!
But at number 28, a player made the worst miss in Premier League history. During a match between Manchester United and Chelsea, Fernando Torres brilliantly beat the offside trap. But after dribbling past the goalkeeper, he forgot how to shoot.
Ramirez looking for Torres through the middle. Great chance. Torres. Extraordinary. One of the greatest misses of all time in the. You've got to be.
Watching this again reminds me of when I made a girl smile, but was too scared to ask for her number.
Oh my God. Hell no.
We've all done that, right? But the miss at number 27 will trigger a lot of Manchester United fans.
Garnacho decided to ignore.
After a poor start to the 2024-2025 Premier League season, Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag knew that only a win against West Ham would stop him from getting sacked. So when his boys stepped out into the London Stadium, they all looked ready to fight for their boss. A few minutes into the game, United showed their intentions when Garnacho's shot hit the crossbar.
Against Ipswich Town, but West Ham on the back foot here. And that's rattled against the crossbar from Garnacho.
They kept piling up the pressure, creating chance after chance, but couldn't convert any of them. With the game still hanging in the balance, Bruno Fernandes's pass put Dalot through on goal. But after lifting the ball over the keeper, he did this.
Bruno Fernandes. West Ham have been opened up again. Here's Dalot. Howls of derision from the West Ham support.
How do you begin to explain this miss? Well, Manchester United ended up losing the game, spelling the end of Ten Hag's reign as United manager. Even getting your coach sacked is nothing compared to the miss at number 26. Back in 2019, PSG needed to win against Strasbourg to reclaim the French championship title. With the game tied at 1-1, Christopher Nkunku thought he had scored, only for this to happen.
Well played, Alves, and Nkunku! And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting actually stopped that ball on the line!
The more you watch it, the more you run out of excuses for him.
Mbappe's reaction says it all.
1. He could have just left the ball. But in a bid to rob his teammate's goal, he ended up making arguably the worst miss in French football history. Now this is just 5 out of the 30 misses on this video. Trust me, you have to see Lukaku's glass-breaking miss at number 10. But before we get there, let's look at a horrible miss by Robert Lewandowski.
Including the striker himself.
With only a few matches of the 2020-2021 Bundesliga season remaining, Robert Lewandowski came into the game against Freiburg, needing 2 goals to break Gerd Muller's record for the most goals scored in a single season. And as soon as the game started, Lewandowski scored from the penalty spot to tie the record.
Bundesliga record that had stood for nearly 50 years was equalled. Lewandowski demonstrated his proficiency from the spot and acknowledged the momentousness of the situation.
Needing one more goal to write his name in the history books, Lewandowski missed a golden opportunity to score, not once, but twice in a matter of seconds.
Outstanding keeping from Mark Flecken, denied Robert Lewandowski twice, which left everyone watching, including the striker himself, dumbfounded.
This reminds me of a Premier League player who almost missed out on the Golden Boot. With Salah on 22 goals and Son on 21 goals, the race for the 2021-2022 Premier League Golden Boot went into the final day of the season. Tottenham's Son was aiming to become the first Asian footballer to win the Golden Boot, and he couldn't have asked for a better opponent than Norwich City. As the game started, Spurs rushed into a 2-0 lead.
Off to Kulusevski, who puts it into the net, and Tottenham have the breakthrough. It will be. Tim Krul's played it straight out to the Tottenham player, and it's been headed in by Harry Kane. What a mistake!
But when you're chasing history, there's always a dark force trying to stop you, and Son soon found out.
Turn from Kulusevski, he's got away from Zimmerman. Krul's come outside the penalty area. Kulusevski's gone round him. Can he finish from the angle? Tries a little flick, and it's cleared off the line by Aarons. Kulusevski there.
The ball was played to his teammate, who cleverly rounded the goalkeeper. But instead of a simple pass into Son's path, he completely fluffed his lines. I'm telling you, there's just something with Tottenham in big moments.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
Thankfully, Son later scored 2 goals in the game to share the Golden Boot with Salah.
This time he scored. But Son on the edge of the penalty area collects, turns away from Cookie, hits a shot. Oh, it's a fabulous...
Unfortunately, not everyone is lucky enough to get a second chance, as Nigerians at the 2010 World Cup experienced firsthand.
It's the miss of the tournament.
Having lost their opening 2 matches of the 2010 World Cup, Nigeria needed to win against South Korea and needed Argentina to do them a favor. And they began the game on top by scoring just 12 minutes in.
Matias cross is a good one as well. Nigeria have the lead. Uche scores.
However, their celebrations were soon cut short as the Koreans scored 2 goals to take a 2-1 lead.
Drives it in. Oh, it's a goal. 1-1. Park Ju-young. Goalkeeper missed it.
With everything on the line, the Nigerians got a chance to score, only for Yakubu to miss an empty net from 2 meters out.
Great ball by Uche. Aila. Oh, what a miss. It's the miss of the tournament. Yakubu right in front of goal.
Let's not talk about grannies. Even a tree could have scored that. To this day, Yakubu is still being harassed by Nigerians over that miss. But for the player at number 22, his costly miss ruined his career at Manchester United.
And it should have been 1-1.
With United losing 1-0 against Southampton, Garnacho weaved his magic and slid the ball for an on-rushing Antony. However, the Brazilian ended up as a Southampton defender instead.
Xerxes. Here comes Bruno Fernandes. He's found Garnacho. He's got Bree back pedaling again. Narrow angle on the left. Pulls it back to the back post. And it should have been 1-1. And instead, it's been slid back.
This proved to be his last action for the club, as he was shipped off to Real Betis the following week. But the miss at number 21 was done by the most lethal striker in the Premier League. In the 2024 version of the Manchester Derby, the ball was put on a plate for Haaland to score an empty. But to the shock of everyone watching, he missed.
Foden. Haaland! How did that happen? Wow. Do not adjust your sets. This really did happen.
That is incredible.
Rodri's reaction says it all. At that distance, it's like Beyonce forgetting how to sing. But even such a miss couldn't break into our top 20. That's because we've still got Lukaku breaking glass, Xerxes sleeping in front of goal, and another Haaland miss to come. But before we get to those, let's look at one of the most disrespectful shots you'll ever see.
Mario Balotelli, that's a bit disrespectful, I believe, to the LA Galaxy.
During a match between the LA Galaxy and Manchester City, Mario Balotelli found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Now, every sensible player would shoot with such a wide post at his mercy, right? But Balotelli did this instead.
Let's take a look and see how the reaction is of the bench. Look at that shading. Boy, this is problematic here. Very interesting stuff.
The miss was so disgraceful that his coach immediately took him off.
That's a bit disrespectful.
But while Balotelli missed due to his arrogance, the next player's failure stemmed from a lack of skill. 25 minutes into the match between Arsenal and Manchester City, an impressive pass by Arsenal resulted in the ball falling kindly to Kai Havertz. With the goal at his mercy, Havertz raised his head, chose an angle, and played the ball wide.
What is City doing here? Ortega! Oh, what's the best to score that?
Tell you what, if this guy were Tupac's shooter, he would be 54 years old this year.
Oh my God. Hell no.
But the guy at number 18 makes Havertz look clinical. With Sporting losing to their bitter rivals Benfica, Brian Ruiz was gifted an easy tap-in 2 meters from the goal. But he still managed to lift it over the bar.
Oh, what's the best to score that?
This reminds me of... I would have reacted like this if it were my team. But as shameful as this was, the guy at number 17 still made it look honorable. During a match between Dortmund and Hoffenheim, he chanced to score. But instead of scoring, he wasted the chance while laughing about it.
Oh, goodness me, that's going to be it. How much the Aubameyang? How did he not manage to put that one in? What did you see how Aubameyang, what must have been the chance of the season?
Not to sound too harsh, but what the hell was he laughing at?
What the hell?
Players get away with anything these days, which is why I'm not surprised Garnacho still plays for United after the miss at number 16. With Manchester United looking to seal victory against Fulham, A long kick by Martinez was completely missed by Bassi. Rashford picked the ball and laid it towards Garnacho, who still found a way to miss.
Settle it now. Rashford to Garnacho, and somehow between the two of them they contrived to miss.
How Bassi and Garnacho both missed will always be funny to me. But the player at number 15 decided to take a nap during the game.
How on earth can you not score from there?
After doing all the hard work of dribbling the goalkeeper, the cells in Joshua Xerxes' brain went to sleep, allowing the defender to clear the ball on the line.
Again by Shaw's. Xerxes! Joshua Xerxes makes it 2. Oh no! Oh my word! Well, how on earth can you not score from there?
Rumor has it that this was what convinced Manchester United to sign him as their new number 9.5. Whatever the hell that is. But as embarrassing as this was, it is nothing compared to what Morata did at number 14. 15 minutes into the match between Juventus and Atalanta, an attacking move by Morata and Ronaldo ended with the ball falling kindly for the Spanish striker. Instead of trying to score an empty net, he attempted a back heel goal.
They have a man over, one back by McKennie. It's Ronaldo. What a block by Jim City. And then Morata showboating.
Such creativity should have earned him the anti-Puskas award. But the striker at number 13 almost gave Salah a heart attack.
That is amazing.
In a match between Luton Town and Liverpool, the boys from Luton had done a good job of nullifying Liverpool's star players. With the game destined for a boring draw, Mo Salah placed the ball right in front of the post for Darwin Núñez, but the striker missed.
To dazzle their opponents. Salah! Darwin Núñez! How have they not scored?
Wow.
Salah and the coach couldn't believe what they had witnessed. And frankly, neither could I. But the miss at number 12 should be inducted into the Hall of Shame.
Oh, what's a miss?
With a few minutes left in the match between Atalanta and Madrid, Atalanta were losing 3-2 and pushing for an equalizer. Real Madrid had done a good job of absorbing the pressure, but out of nowhere, Lookman found some space on the left, only for his cross to be wasted emphatically.
What's a miss?
To score that.
But the miss at number 11 almost cost Messi the League Cup. In the dying seconds of the League Cup final between Inter Miami and Nashville, a long pass by Sergio Busquets gave Leonard Campana the chance to win the game. But after lifting the ball over the goalkeeper, he shat his pants, leaving Messi in shock. Alright, the misses on this video so far have been wild. But since we've made it to the top 10, it's time to take things to a whole new level. I'm talking about players taking bribes, Chelsea players clowning themselves, and another giving an old man a heart attack. But we'll get to that later, because at number 10, Lukaku punched through the glass. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not kidding. During the World Cup match between Croatia and Belgium, the Belgians needed to win to qualify for the knockout stages. But after a scoreless first half, the coach brought on Lukaku to lead the charge. He got his first chance to score in the 59th minute, but his shot hit the post and bounced out.
In behind Lukaku, Carrasco, it's Yannick Carrasco! Lukaku, he's hit the...
In the 61st minute, Lukaku got another chance right in front of the goal, but his header went flying over the crossbar. With the game headed for a 0-0 draw, Lukaku got a third chance to score, but completely miscalculated the flight of the ball.
Lukaku!
Hazard. Torgan Hazard puts it across. Lukaku. Oh, it's taken by Livakovic on the line.
As a result, the game ended in a 0-0 draw, and Belgium was eliminated from the tournament. Angry at himself, Lukaku punched the dugout, destroying it with one blow. If only he were this precise in front of the goal. Speaking of precision, the player at number 9 has the composure of a toddler having a sugar rush. Before you say that comparison was extreme, just watch.
As Walker puts it into the middle and Sterling.
I guarantee that if he had just let the ball hit him without attempting to score, it would have gone in. But while Sterling might be synonymous with missed chances, I cannot explain what happened to De Bruyne at number 8. During a match between Chelsea and Man City, Pep Guardiola couldn't have wished for a better chance to fall in the path of his star man, Kevin De Bruyne. But to the shock of everyone in the stadium, he missed an empty net from 2 meters out.
Gundogan fed Silva. Silva's played the pass now, aimed it at De Bruyne, who's hit the crossbar from 2 feet out.
I mean, even the best football players miss chances, which is why no one should laugh at the next player. With Chelsea's superstars all given a rest from the Conference League, Marc Guiu was given the chance to lead the attack against plumbers from Switzerland. But after winning the ball from the goalkeeper, he ruined everything with his embarrassing finish.
Et bienvenue là aux téléspectateurs de RTS2 où Servette est en difficulté. Oh là là, le sauvetage de Frick, c'est pas fini. Le double sauvetage, ça continue devant Guillou. Une nouvelle frappe.
Honestly, there's no need to get mad. He's just a kid. However, Palmer and Madueke need to be tried for the crime they committed at number 6. During a match between Leicester and Chelsea, a counterattack led by João Felix resulted in the ball falling kindly for Cole Palmer. With an empty net at his mercy, somehow, Palmer and Madueke ended up clearing the ball for their opponents.
And Felix coming through. McCartney didn't know whether to stick or twist. Good save, but Palmer did it too, and somehow it's in his teammate.
Oh, that's incredible.
Madueke indicating he's trying to jump out of the
But
way.
at least they won the game, unlike the next miss that sent Manchester City out of the Champions League. In 2020, Manchester City were considered overwhelming favorites to eliminate Lyon from the Champions League quarterfinals. But 23 minutes into the game, Lyon shocked everyone by scoring the first goal. Man City kept piling up the pressure and deservedly equalized in the 69th minute. Ten minutes later, Lyon beat the offside trap to take the lead once again. But Manchester City weren't going to give up just yet. And in the 86th minute, Jesus danced past the Lyon defense and laid it on a plate. But Sterling said, "Nah, I'm not hungry."
Jesus! Sterling! Oh! He and Sterling had to score.
Words cannot describe how awful this miss was. And to put the icing on the cake, Lyon scored a third to complete one of the biggest upsets in football history. This reminds me of the miss that knocked Arsenal out of the Europa League.
Very, very disappointed.
After scoring a sensational goal to equalize against Olympiacos, Aubameyang got an easy chance to win the tie, but completely missed from 2 meters out.
Gets it in there. It's ricocheted.
What?
It's ricocheted.
Yeah, he was definitely possessed by the spirit of Sterling. And I'm sure it's the same spirit that possessed De Bruyne at number 3. In his last home game as a Manchester City player, Kevin De Bruyne was presented with an easy chance to score his farewell goal. But to the shock of the fans who had already started celebrating, he missed.
And it must be, oh my word, can you believe what you've just seen there?
Although he didn't score, his impact in the Premier League will never be forgotten. But I'm sure the fans of Manchester United will forget the miss at number 2. Heading into the match between Liverpool and Manchester United, many fans predicted that United would be trashed at least 7-0. As absurd as that sounded, it wasn't completely wrong, mainly because United were struggling under Ruben Amorim. But against all odds, Manchester United came out guns blazing and scored the opening goal. In the second half, Liverpool scored the equalizer and took the lead via the penalty spot.
Still Gakpo. Goal! Brilliant to Liverpool. And he responds as he always does.
However, United didn't give up. They kept pressuring Liverpool and scored the equalizer.
He's got the cross and the shot goes in from Amad Diallo.
With the final big chance of the match, the ball fell to Harry Maguire, who blasted the ball over the bar.
So red shirt's coming, and he still managed to find a white shirt, and Xerxes with a chance to win it. Maguire over the top. The game was there for Harry Maguire's taking.
But now, it's time for the worst miss in the history of football. In a match between Valor FC and HFX Wanderers, Alessandro Riggi managed to smuggle the ball past the goalkeeper. But as the ball was about to roll over the line, William Accio came out of nowhere to clear the ball.
Tracks it down, opens up to his right boot, across towards Riggi. Second effort, it dribbles it. No!
What the hell?
Did Accio clear that off the line himself?
I've never seen anything like this before. This is weird, absurd, and frankly, unexplainable. There was no need to even attempt to touch the ball. It was already rolling in. The miss gets worse each time I watch it. And it will take a lot of convincing for me to believe that this wasn't foul play by William. But as insane as this moment was, it's nothing
compares to Ronaldo's superhuman power. I'm talking shots clocked at 200 kilometers an hour on the pitch. First, a rocket by Cristiano Ronaldo that almost gave an old man a heart attack. Heading into the second leg of their Champions League match against Man United, the Arsenal players were quietly confident of turning the tie around after losing the first leg 1-0. But after conceding early to a Park Ji-sung goal, the frustration started creeping in. After giving away a silly foul close to the halfway line, the Gunners were sure Ronaldo wouldn't shoot from that far out. Even the commentator thought it was too far away.
It's 35 yards and more. Too far for Ronaldo to think about it.
So when the ref blew the whistle, Ronaldo did this.
Too far for Ronaldo to think about it. Oh! Absolutely sensational! He went through Almunia, beat for pace.
That shot was so powerful, it made an Arsenal fan rethink her life choices. But at 24, Zlatan Ibrahimovic unleashed a missile so fast, the rival fans gave him an ovation. In the Champions League match between Anderlecht and PSG, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was a man on fire.
Into the centre, with his ball at his feet into Ibrahimovic.
He scored 2 quick goals to put PSG comfortably ahead. But when the Anderlecht defenders thought they had him under control, this happened.
Trying to attack down the left-hand side. Strike from Ibrahimovic. Oh, what a goal!
With the ball traveling at 150 kilometers an hour, that shot was way faster than my Toyota Corolla when I was rushing to my girl's house. No wonder the Anderlecht fans gave him a standing O. But even this is nothing compared to the thunderbolt that won the 2019 Premier League Goal of the Year. The Etihad Stadium, Man City's home, is one of the most formidable places for any team to visit. Most teams spend the whole game in their own half, so the chances of scoring are pretty slim. But on this day, Andros Towson and his Crystal Palace teammates had other plans. With the game tied at 1, a clearance fell kindly to Townsend, who without thinking twice did this.
And on hold to send a real teaser in there. Surely had to be dealt with and was by Stones. Andros Townsend! A flash of brilliance!
That ball was hit so perfectly, the goalkeeper was more or less a spectator. Even Townsend himself couldn't believe he scored that. Palace won the game 3-2, the only reason City didn't do the invincible. But the shot at number 22 turned Ter Stegen into the Statue of Liberty. During the 2017 Spanish Super Cup, Barcelona dreamed of staging a comeback against Madrid. But with the Catalans losing 3-1 in the first leg, they knew it would be a difficult task. But just 4 minutes into the game, Marco Asensio destroyed their hopes with this strike.
Any circumstances, Modric with the attempted finisher. Awesome. Look at that! This boy knows no bounds. No danger, they backed on them.
That shot was so powerful, it made Ter Stegen look like a statue. Or maybe he's just ass. But it wasn't as crazy as number 21, where a shot almost got a player arrested for war crimes. On October 3rd, 2023, Real Madrid traveled to Italy to face Napoli, a team that won the league with 5 games to spare. Led by the prolific Victor Osimhen, everyone expected the Italians to be a tough out. This prediction seemed accurate when just after 19 minutes, Napoli took the lead. Madrid responded through Vinny Jr. and took the lead via Jude Bellingham. But as the second half resumed, Napoli equalized via penalty. With the game tilting towards a draw, Valverde took matters into his own hands and did this. Damn. You could swear he has a rocket launcher strapped to that leg. His shot was so powerful it nearly bent the crossbar. But even this couldn't break into our top 20 because there's no way a human could do what Ronaldo did at our number 14 pick. But before we get to that, let's look at a shot so powerful, 2 goalkeepers won't be able to stop it. Back in 2011, Sir Alex was still manager of Manchester United, and their players were capable of the extraordinary. So when they came up against Chelsea, Nani did this.
Away from Mata, still Nani.
Nani! Oh, brilliant! You can watch it again and again and again. Utterly outstanding from Nani.
Damn. He hit that ball with so much venom, the net could sue him for abuse. But as crazy as this strike might have been, it's nothing compared to what Ronaldo did at number 19. After an underwhelming first leg draw with FC Porto, Manchester United were at risk of getting eliminated because Porto had scored 2 away goals. With the club's fate on the line, everyone's hopes rested on the shoulders of their superstar, Cristiano Ronaldo. Just 6 minutes into the game, Ronaldo got a pass 45 yards away from the goal, and he said to himself, "F it, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo." The confidence to think about it, the audacity to try it, and the power generated from that distance earned this goal a deserved Puskas Award. To think Rio Ferdinand was screaming at him not to take the shot.
EQ it here and let it play. And the ball comes into him here, he gets his head down. At that moment there, I'll never forget it. I tell my kids about this all the time. I was screaming here, no. Like, pass it, like.
And when he hit it?
Then when he hit it, it was like, wow, I'll show you the facials in a minute.
We would have been robbed of this masterpiece if you listened. But hey, everybody, shh, quiet down. At number 18, a crazy shot that ruined Juventus' title celebrations. Having been crowned Serie A champions in 2019, Juventus came into the match against Inter with the celebrations already kickstarted. But unknown to them, Raja Nainggolan had already been planning to spoil the party. Before the game, he told reporters he wanted to score against Juventus. So 7 minutes into the match, a headed pass fell into his path, and he did this. guy might be the biggest hater ever. But at number 17, a shot that traveled so fast, it would break the traffic laws in every country.
One superb goal that made the difference, and that changed the game.
In 2007, Newcastle United were experiencing a mini revival after being poor throughout that season. So when they came up against Tottenham, no one could have predicted how the game would go. 70 minutes in, Newcastle were losing 2-1, and it seemed the demons of the past were coming back to haunt them. That's when Obafemi Martins decided to turn into an assassin. He collected a pass, played a 1-2 game with his teammate, and unleashed this bullet.
Martins คีรอนไดเออร์นะครับช่วย3คนครับนิวคาสเซิลข้างหน้ามีตัวที่4ขึ้นมายิงโอ้โหลูกนี้สุดยอดครับท่านผู้ชมซัดไปดื้อๆเลยครับโอบาเฟมี่มาร์ตินส์
The force on that shot, it's enough to power an entire neighborhood. But at number 16, an insane shot that almost tore the roof off the net. During a Premier League match between Blackburn Rovers and Southampton, both teams had cancelled each other out and were seemingly content with a draw. But Blackburn midfielder Kieran Tuge wasn't cut out for such a loser mentality. So when the ball was laid on a plate for him, he fired this missile. The way that goalkeeper looked confused, you could tell he knew that shot was unstoppable. But even this is not as powerful as the goal that knocked Manchester United out of the Champions League. When Manchester United faced AS Monaco in the 1998 Champions League quarterfinals, the team with stars like David Beckham and Andy Cole were quietly confident of progressing. After a boring 0-0 first leg, everything came down to the return leg at Old Trafford. But just 5 minutes into the game, David Trezeguet put Monaco ahead with this ferocious shot. Hitting such a rocket that close to the goalkeeper, I'm surprised the net didn't rip open. Although Man United later tied the game at 1, that shot knocked them out on away goals. But at number 14, Cristiano Ronaldo took a shot so insane, it almost turned him into a stripper. In a match between Real Madrid and Osasuna, Cristiano Ronaldo got the ball a long distance from the goal. With the Osasuna defenders backing off, he decided to do what Ronaldo does best.
Ronaldo, they'll back away from him again and he shoots. Oh, it's got in! A second goal, a thunderbolt from Ronaldo.
Look at the reaction from his teammates. They couldn't believe what they'd just seen. Even the players on the bench couldn't help but be in awe. But the missile that comes in at number 13 won Barcelona their first ever European Cup. During the 1991-92 European Cup final, Barcelona came up against a stubborn Sampdoria with the hopes of winning their first European trophy. But as the game progressed, Barca found Sampdoria a tough nut to crack. After a sorry 0-0 in normal time, it headed into extra time with the possibility of going to penalties. 6 minutes into the second half of extra time, Barcelona won a free kick close to the 18-yard box. With the entire game coming down to this one last chance, Ronald Koeman did this. Before the goalkeeper could dive, the ball passed him in a flash. With a powerful shot like that, it's no wonder he scored 250 goals as a defender. While Koeman's shot was laid for him, Alan Shearer unleashed his rocket all by himself. In 1997, Newcastle United faced a stubborn Leicester City team desperate to prove a point. Newcastle took an early lead, but Leicester found a way to equalize. Annoyed by this defiance, Alan Shearer decided enough was enough. So when his team got a free kick at the edge of the box, he did this. I mean, listen to that sound. The net was literally begging for help, let alone this goalkeeper who didn't see the ball pass him. But as impressive as this was, it's nothing compared to a shot that defied the laws of physics. In a match between Brazil and France, the Brazilians got a free kick 40 yards away from the French goal. Because of the distance, the French wall stood very far from the ball, a decision they quickly regretted.
20-yard run up.
You could rewatch this free kick 50 times, you'd still be in shock at how he pulled it off. The goalkeeper was sure the ball was going out, only to see it fly into his net. I bet if Einstein were alive today, he'd have a hard time explaining that. But even this madness didn't crack the top 10, because from here on out, it's going to be the most powerful shots ever, starting with an Adriano rocket that bent the goalpost. If you played PES around the mid-2000s, then you know Adriano was a cheat code. This dude had a 99 shot power rating, and boy, it was not an exaggeration. In his debut for Inter against Madrid, Inter won a free kick right at the edge of the box. Adriano asked Seedorf to allow him to take the free kick. Considering he was new to the team, this was a big ask, but Seedorf obliged. There was a bit of commotion in the wall, but Adriano was focused, so when the referee blew the whistle, he did this. Damn, he shot it at the exact spot Casillas was standing. But before the goalkeeper could even move, the net behind him was almost ripped open. But at number 9 is another Brazilian with a shot so crazy powerful, he was nicknamed the Incredible Hulk. In a Brazilian league match between Atlético Mineiro and Santos, the Santos players knew they messed up when they conceded a free kick close to the box. And when you watch this, you'll understand why they were worried. The force with which that ball hit the frame of the goal. I mean, imagine if that was someone's face. But that wasn't the only time the Hulk displayed his powerful shot. During a match between bitter rivals FC Porto and Benfica, Hulk was being abused by the Benfica fans. So after a poor clearance by the Benfica players found its way to him, he did this. That shot was so powerful, the keeper was smart to get out of the way. That's how you shut rival fans up, by the way. But at number 7 is an absolute rocket that you might miss if you blink. In a 1996 Premier League match between Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday, the Gunners came under intense attack by the Wednesday players. After a badly cleared corner kick, the ball fell kindly for David Hurst, who rifled his shot against the crossbar.
Better part of an hour. Pressure not cleared. Oh, what a letter for Arsenal, David Hurst.
The ball was hit with so much power, you might miss it if it's not slowed down. I mean, damn, I do not envy those goalposts at all. But the bullet that comes in at number 6 was voted the best goal of the 2006-2007 Premier League season. After a poorly cleared corner by Aston Villa, the loose ball fell into the path of Paul Scholes, who absolutely blasted it home.
Throttle in the second half. Headed out by McCann. How?
That commentator is all of us right now. And with that banger, we've made it to our top 5. Fasten your seatbelts, get your popcorn ready, because things are about to get explosive. Starting with a last-minute rocket that won Liverpool the FA Cup. When Liverpool faced West Ham in the 2006 FA Cup final, everyone expected the Reds to make light work of the Hammers. But after 2 unfortunate own goals, Liverpool were trailing 3-2 to West Ham with just a few seconds of the game left. With their hearts about to be broken, Liverpool made one last push to try and get an equalizer. Then this happened.
That's Risa, tossed it towards Morientes. And then Gerrard! Oh!
From how he struck the ball, it was either he scored the goal or sent the ball into space. What an iconic moment from one of the best midfielders of his generation. Liverpool won the resulting shootout, and the game was renamed the Gerrard Final. But at number 4, a player hit the ball so hard it was clocked at 170 kilometers an hour. It happened in a match between PSV and ADO Den Haag in the Dutch league. The PSV players were on the hunt for a third goal, so a pass was played into the path of Ibrahim Sangaré, and he did this.
By Rodriguez. Sangaré!
Damn, the ball went flying like a bullet out of a gun. Even the PSV coach couldn't believe what he'd just seen. Even this is nothing compared to Tony Yeboah's shot at number 3. During a match between Leeds and Wimbledon, Ghana's Tony Yeboah picked up a loose ball in the Wimbledon half, danced around a defender, and did the unthinkable. number 2, Arjen Robben fired an unstoppable shot, clocked at 190 kilometers an hour.
Ich muss einfach sagen, ich bin nur dankbar. Sehr, sehr dankbar.
Jetzt macht sein Tor.
Und die will selber machen. Und macht die.
Robben! Ein unfassbares Tor.
Robben! Robben! Robben!
In his career, Arjen Robben was famous for cutting to his left and curling the ball into the net. But despite being a master of finesse, Robben packed a dynamite of a left foot. If you think I'm exaggerating, just watch this.
A Pepe, saca el córner Kaká. Ha despejado Momoyera y golazo de Robben. ¡Qué golazo de Robben, señores, a la salida del área! Vaya.
He hit that ball so true it would pass a lie detector test. See what I did there?
What?
Never mind. But even Dortmund manager Jurgen Klopp was impressed with that shot. And speaking of shots, it's time for the most powerful shot in football history. In a Portuguese league match between Sporting CP and Naval, the Naval players gave away a silly free kick at the edge of their box. But as they tried to arrange a wall, the goalkeeper was absolutely terrified. To understand why, you gotta watch this.
2 minuten voor tijd staat het nog altijd 0-0 bij Naval tegen Sporting Club de Portugal. Maar invaller
Ronnie Heberson hit that ball with so much power, the keeper's fingers could have been destroyed if he touched it. That goalie dodged almost a literal bullet. And at 210 kilometers an hour, it is the most powerful shot ever recorded. But as crazy as these shots might have been, they're nothing compared to the insanity of Saint Etienne fans, or the time 2 managers fought after a game. Click on the next video to find out the craziest moments in football.